My name is Juliana Satie. I'm the founder, director of the Natural Cookery System of Intuitive Cooking. And we use whole foods. We're primarily vegan. And what I'd like to show you today are some ideas for replacing the dairy cheese in your dishes. We're going to start with a tofu ricotta, and we'll use some cashew as well. So first I'll introduce the ingredients. The thing about cheese is that it's protein and fat. So how do you reproduce that? We're going to use firm tofu, and the fat is going to be a combination of cashews and olive oil. Now you can do this without the cashews. You can just use olive oil. So we're going to play around with nut today as a creamy substance like cheese, that it creates the fat part of the sensuality of this dish. The way we start with cashew is that they're much more digestible if they are soaked. And if you soak them in some interesting cooking liquid, for example, this is lemon juice, and I've just poured the lemon juice over the cashew here to let them soak. And what they look like after they've soaked is this. They've swollen to almost twice their size, as you can see. This is the raw. Anyway, they swell. They get nice and juicy. So beginning with garlic, which is the herb spice, in a dry food processor, it'll chop it for you very neatly. And this is the tofu that has been slightly dried with a cloth around it. So now we can put everything in. The tofu, you don't have to crumble it. Everything gets blended. A little bit of fat from cashew, it helps the texture. Olive oil makes it creamy. The herb spice normally is basil, but we're going to use this fresh thyme, do a little different version on a ricotta filling for eggplant. Sea salt to fit, 1 layer, 2 layers and a half. And if we need a little more cooking liquid to get the substance, this is lemon juice. So before I blend it, I'm going to show you what it looks like, because everything is in there, as we call it, to fit. And now it should be a perfect substance and a perfect taste. But we've got to make sure it's a perfect taste, and when you season from the heart center, it's 90% perfect from the beginning. And it's right on. So now we get to use it as a filling. And this filling is going in a roulade, and it'll be baked in the oven with a little tomato sauce, and this is something that can be from a jar or a can, and that's just sort of a landing place for it. Then we'll take our eggplant that's been breaded. Again, it's vegan. There is no egg on this. You take the filling, and everything here has been somewhat cooked, so you really only need to bake it for a little while. What happens with the tofu is it puffs up when it gets cooked. And tofu, being what I call a long-term bean, needs a lot of fire to be digestible. And so it's not really a raw dish, this one. Okay, and then that can go in the oven.